Welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Friday, 8th of February with me, Rich Market Analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got a pretty negative look at markets today. Certainly really in reaction to what we saw yesterday, really, I suppose. You've got a continuation of the dollar sort of support that we've seen in the last week or so, but interestingly enough also you've seen equity markets coming under pressure. S&P 500 down sort of almost 1%, as was the Dow. Futures are down, ticking lower again. Asian markets weaker overnight. The DAX is back at 11,000, pretty much bang on. That is a massive level that we need to watch out for on a medium-term basis. Big support as a pivot, and it is testing that level today. So this is the market on a DAX on a brink of a key breakdown. Potentially, and a changing outlook move. You can see that Wall Street fell sharply yesterday. You had the news overnight that Donald Trump is not going to meet President Xi of China before the end of the deadline, or that's the 1st of March deadline, but that's the plan at the moment. It could well be that the US are playing a pretty good game in terms of the trade negotiations, and they don't really want to give China too much leverage in those negotiations, but certainly at the moment that's not helped sentiment, and subsequently we're seeing that under pressure today. So so the dollar tends to be fairly positive in that situation where trade dispute continues, and you can see that Treasury yields falling away on 10-year and the 2-year. Shouldn't theoretically be supportive for the dollar, but obviously the dollar is benefiting from that safe haven vibe that we've got today. The yen has been supported underneath 110 big figure on dollar yen. I'll talk about the implications of that on the chart analysis. Gold hanging up above $1,300, which again is key for that. Silver also above 1560, again key. So the oil price has dropped in the last few days as this sort of negative sentiment has started to come through, started to fall over. Although we're still above the sort of supports of January or mid-late January. So nothing too drastic there in terms of concern, but there is certainly a risk negative vibe going on in markets today. Now, in terms of data points, again, a very quiet day, still not really getting any of the US data through. We've got Canadian unemployment at 1.30, expected to be ticking higher to 5.7%, so watch out for the impact that could have on the Canadian dollar. But apart from that, very little. Now, my chart of the day is the Nikkei. Now, I don't often look at the Nikkei. So I don't know why I didn't have that. But anyway, the chart of the day is Nikkei, and it has certainly fallen over. Last 3 sessions, well, actually, you could sort of roll back 8 sessions, really, where we've seen this run of negative candles. And I mean negative in the fact that the market was rallying throughout half of those candles. But the intraday moves were always selling into the early morning move. So what we've seen is that now starting to weigh on the Nikkei, and sharp moves to the downside, certainly yesterday and the day before. But this move below the support at around 20,400 really does suggest that it's gathering into a correction now. That is the first break of a higher reaction low. Also coming at the resistance, look at that, 20,970. That is an old, really important level. That November low, which old support becomes new resistance. And not only that, look at the momentum indicators. Negative divergence on the stochastics and an acceleration lower. You've got the RSI below 50 at the lowest it's pretty much been throughout this year. And also MACD lines sort of turning over at neutral. It all looks a bit worrying now in terms of the Nikkei, and that's sort of gives you an indication that global markets may be under pressure now, and it'll be interesting to see if there can be a continued sort of fall back. 20,100 area, a little bit of a higher reaction low, as is 20,200, and if you break 20,100, then you really are back in towards the lows again at around 18,950. So yeah, this is an important moment for the Nikkei, and could be indication that global equity markets are back under pressure once more. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later.